is the brake caliper in here. You can see it, and right in the middle of the back of the brake caliper, there's something there just glowing. That is the top of the brake sensor, the bit that had the metal on it that I showed you that wears. That's there. So you can have a look through the wheel. To say pulling the wrong wheel off, you can have a look through the wheel, see that, because on the other side, there's nothing in that half moon. So we're going to take this wheel off. When I was trying to talk about the little half moon shape, you see it there, and there now you can see the wire with the little clip that's sitting in place. Now let's pull that out and just see if it is broken on the end. But anyway, we're going to replace this because I can't reset it. And you can see it comes up here. There's a little rubber cap on the back. I can show you that. It just pops off. It's actually over a grease nipple. Might need a screwdriver to get it off, but there's just a little rubber cap there. It's going to come. There we go. And then that can come off. See, that's part of the system. It then comes up here, and that clips out of there. When you're doing yours, you can have a look at this little bit here, so you'll see exactly where everything is supposed to go and be clipped. Again, they're a bit tight because, you know, they need to stay in there for 100,000 kilometers and not fall out. And then now, the box on the back that was in behind the guard, but here, this is the box that we need to get into. So it's a matter of opening up these clips on the back like that, opening that up, and inside the two joiners. Now down here is where they run into the car. We really hope the brake's not there. The brake in the wire is not there. That's very rare that that is the case. So we just unplug this. This all just pulls forward. It's got a bit of dirt and muck and so forth, and it pulls forward like that. And we simply unplug that, plug in the new lead, which is fully out now. Then put it all back together, and then hopefully it will reset. This is definitely one that a beginner can do, not a problem at all. So we'll get the new cord and switch it over. Okay, so let's get this done. I've got my new one out of the packet, and the first thing we want to do is size it up and just see how it compares. And got a plug in there with the part to go into the cabinet. We've got the connector here. The distances are definitely just different. That's where it goes around the brake thing and then through to the brake. So there are some little differences. I hope that won't cause too much of a problem. When you turn this around, you'll see the little clip in the top of the pin there. So we press that clip in and then pull that out like that. It has a little seal, and there's the plug. You want to make sure that's all clean. And again, check here to make sure that they are the same. I'm going to give it a spray with WD-40 just to clean the contacts up. And then I'm going to install it and put it all back in. Now, what's left? We've plugged this back in, getting the pins and locks all in the right direction, which is that way. Plug it back in until it clicks, and then this goes back into this little weatherproof container. You definitely want to make sure that that closes properly. You don't want it to pop it open and get dirt and water and so forth flowing into there. Now this comes down and clips onto there. Like that. And remember that the wheel is dropped right down because it's off. And then this part here is the bit that went over the little grease nipple here. And I might just put this in place first. So you see here the little slot, and this is actually the rotor, and this is the brake pedal. So you can see why this touches. This is the piston here, which pushes the brake pad across onto the rotor. These two big bits of metal are the metal rotor. That's this bit here. So that slips into place like that. You'll just, like that did just then, you just get a click and then it's in place. And that's what we were looking at when we were looking through the mag wheel, to see that sensor sitting there, and that's lining up beautifully back here where it needs to clip on. It needs to spin around. That clips on over the top of that grease nipple. That just needed 2 hands rather than 1 hand holding the camera. So that just pressed down with 2 hands. The little grease nipple cover comes over the top, which locks in place to hold everything in place. And you know what? We are done. That new one is in place. That cover's closed. And brake sensor change is done. All that's remaining now is to put the wheel back on, and then we'll pop inside and give it a test. As a matter of fact, we can pop inside now and give it a test before we put the wheel back on. Alright, so back where we started, inside, ignition on, foot on the brake, start the car, and this warning will still come up because it needs to be reset. So we'll accept that. Brake pads up, reset. Now, the reset procedure is down here. Now, I'm gonna have to leave one last link here for an iCard right there. Have a look at how to reset this so that brake pads replace thing goes away, and then you'll be set. So there's a reset procedure that needs to happen in order to make it go away.